We had a Thursday night football game, and the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Denver Broncos 19-8. Now, last episode, I put on my defense attorney hat and I defended Russell Wilson. I defended Russell Wilson because I just felt like there was a heap of undeserved criticism going his way. And it's been like that majority of the season. Thursday Night Football, I saw two teams that have major issues. And one team has issues that are solvable. Like, you can instantly solve these issues. Not instantly, but they can be solved by the end of the season. One team doesn't look like it looks like it needs a complete teardown. Let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs first. When you look at the numbers, and that's something that has been more prevalent than most times this season. The numbers are incredible, but if you look at the game shows something much more. When you look at the numbers for the Kansas City Chiefs, it looks good. You know, Patrick Mahomes, 306 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Isaiah Pacheco had 62 rushing yards. Travis Kelce, 9 receptions for 124 yards. Kadarius Toney had a touchdown. It looks good on paper. But looking at that Kansas City Chiefs team on Thursday, that is not a Super Bowl caliber team. Now, their issues can be fixed by the end of this year, but as currently constructed, that is not a Super Bowl caliber team. It's clear that there is not a reliable offensive player on this field not named Travis Kelce that Patrick Mahomes can throw to. It feels like there's a reason why every time you looked, Patrick Mahomes was trying to get the ball to Travis Kelce, because it's just they do not have a number one receiver. Their number one receiver is the tight end, which is Travis Kelce. And while we've talked about that for weeks now, and that has been a thing for weeks now, again, winning silences a lot. Because they're winning and because they won, it's not the criticism, the issues are not as loud because you're ultimately winning. But if they were 1-5, or if they were, let's say, 3-2, the conversation would be much different. On top of that, the defense is still incredible. That's just, again, this is probably the best defense that Patrick Mahomes has had. But I get to Andy Reid. And not at all am I saying that Andy Reid is not a good coach. I would never come out here and say that. That would be blasphemous. That would be incorrect. One of Andy Reid's calling cards has been trick plays and has been offensive plays and offensive schemes that are unorthodox, but they ultimately usually work. And when you have a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes that gives you the freedom to run plays like the plays Andy Reid tries to draw up, it's just the more the merrier, let's say. But what's never really talked about, because let me say, I will give them credit for this. Those plays usually work. Those plays usually work. Those plays usually don't cost them. And when they do work, it's like only an Andy Reid run offense would run something like that. But what we saw on Thursday night was the other side, which is very rare. Again, I will give the Kansas City Chiefs credit for. It's very rare. But we saw the other side. We saw when it doesn't work, when it's not connecting on multiple occasions. There was multiple times where Andy Reid tried to do trick plays, tried to do a fake punt, tried to do fake field goal, or tried to do Kadarius Toney throw the ball, damn near got intercepted, or them trying to run a high version of the Wildcat where Kadarius Toney, all he had to do was give the ball to the running back and they would have got a first down. Instead, he kept it. There were multiple times in this game where those trick plays that usually would work, that we'd marvel at, didn't, which essentially put the Kansas City Chiefs in a bad spot on several occasions. Now, if they would have played a better team, they probably would have the better team probably would have capitalized on that. They didn't, because they played against the Denver Broncos. There's still obviously time in the season. We're only on week 6. So there's time for a wide receiver to emerge as a number one option. Right now it's looking like Rashid Rice, who is also a rookie, but he looks like the player that they're trying to elevate to be that number one. But it just seems like it doesn't seem like it's clear that the Kansas City Chiefs don't have a number one receiver. And it's really all on Travis Kelce, which is why you see such a huge discrepancy, not only in targets, but in yards. And if, as we've seen on a couple of occasions this year, if Travis Kelce does not, if he has a bad game, more than likely they might lose. And that's no offense to Patrick Mahomes. It's just, not to mention, actually, the next point, the offensive line. Yo, that offensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs, bro, which they spent their most money on this offseason, has been god awful. Like he runs for his life the whole game. We're going to talk about the Broncos in a second, but that offensive line does not. I said that going into the season. I said the thing that I think would hold back the Kansas City Chiefs is their offensive line and the lack of receivers. I thought the offensive line would be better. I thought it was going to be a question mark. That question mark has been answered. They're not good. I don't know if you can bring anybody. I don't know if, throughout the season they're going to get better. But right now, the offensive line is not good for the Kansas City Chiefs. And as we sit here today, as great as Patrick Mahomes is, as great as Travis Kelce is, as great as Andy Reid is, as great as Chris Jones is, they have a shot every game. But the question that I saw, I think First Take did, shouts out to them, is the Kansas City Chiefs the team to beat in the AFC? And I would say just by default, because they are the reigning Super Bowl champions, yes. But there are multiple teams in the AFC that I would pick over the Kansas City Chiefs right now. There's not anybody I would pick over Patrick Mahomes. There's not anybody as far as skill position that I'd pick over Travis Kelce. But as a team, there's multiple teams I'd pick over the Kansas City Chiefs. This current iteration of the Kansas City Chiefs. It can look different with the trade deadline, I don't know, but we'll see. Oh man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.